Hi children, good morning. Today's our question is from the CBSE 10th Standard NCERT textbook, second chapter, acids, bases and salt. In that, today's our topic is what do all acids and all bases have in common? For that, here experimental setup is shown. In a beaker, dilute hydrochloric acid solution is taken and two iron nails are fixed in a cork and 6-volt battery and a bulb and a switch is there. So after all the experimental setup, when the switch is on, then you can see that the bulb is glowing. When the bulb is glowing, we can understand that there is a flow of electricity in it. So the flow of electricity, you know that current is the flow of charges. So through this experiment, we can understand that dilute hydrochloric acid is conducting electricity. The same experiment we can repeat with another acid, sulfuric acid or nitric acid. If you take any acid, in all the experiments you can see that the bulb is glowing. The glowing of bulb indicates that there is a flow of electricity. And you know that electricity is a flow of charges. So in this, hydrochloric acid is dissociating into H plus ions. These H plus ions are the reason for conduct of electricity. And children, you know that all the acids are highly poisonous and dangerous. But today I want to introduce an acid which is very healthy. And you know that always this acid, if it is happen to fall on body, it brings a D shape or the beauty is spoiled. But here I want to introduce an acid which increase your beauty. Are you interested to know which acid is that? Yes, I'll tell you this is that acid. So listen, what is the acid? Here acid, A stands for aim and C for confidence and I for interest and D stands for determination. This is that acid. And if you have this acid in you with you, that will increase your beauty. And still you always have some aim. So that give a meaning to our life. And your confidence that increase as much as your confidence is increasing, the path to your aim is easy. And keep an interest in that. Always try to increase your interest in it and the determination that also your path will may become very easy. So this acid, if you stop with you as much as you can, it is very good and you can supply to those children, those who doesn't have this acid. So this is acid I want to introduce. It is very good. So by the end of this lesson, I hope all of you will have a lot of or enough supply or sufficient quantity of acid with you. So again, we are continuing the same. Acid solution in water conducts electricity. That is the last experiment we have seen. Hydrochloric acid is conducting electricity. So what is happening this hydrochloric acid in the water? So this is the equation clearly tell us hydrochloric acid is ionizing into H plus and Cl minus ions. That is, this H plus ions formed, it cannot stand independently. So immediately this H plus ions are combining with the water molecules and it become hydronium ions. H3O that is known as hydronium ions. So that is happening in a solution when acid is mixed with water. This is happening. So HCl is disassociating or ionizing into H plus and chlorine minus ions. So this H plus ions is immediately mixing with the water and forms hydronium ions. That is the last equation I wrote, HCl plus H2O. The end of the reaction you are getting H3O hydronium ions and chlorine ions. So actually the presence of this hydronium ions conduct electricity. So acid and base also like this conduct electricity in the presence of water. Only in the presence of water, this acid can disassociate into H plus and chlorine minus ions. But in the absence of water, this is not possible. So next we will see what is happening to the bases. Bases in a water solution. So bases also generate hydroxide or OH ions in water. So for example, if you take sodium hydroxide, if it is mixed with water, that is disassociating into Na plus and OH minus ions. So for sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide, magnesium hydroxide or aluminum hydroxide, any hydroxide, if it is mixed with water, it is ionizing into positive and negative ions, that is sodium plus or OH minus ions. Then another topic it is written that alkalis, that is bases which are soluble in water are called alkalis. So there are a lot of bases. One example I told, sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, all these are soluble in water. So but all the bases are not soluble in water. So bases which are soluble in water are called alkalis. So all the alkalis are bases, but all bases are not alkalis. Bases which are soluble in water, that is called alkalis. So sodium hydroxide is an alkali. Potassium hydroxide is an alkali. Magnesium hydroxide is an alkali. Magnesium hydroxide, see, when we are burning magnesium, we are getting magnesium oxide, a white powder. When it is dissolved in water, that magnesium oxide is dissolving in water and we get magnesium hydroxide. So that also it is an alkali. So bases which are soluble in water is known as alkalis. Then the next topic which is given in your textbook is dilution. Dilution. See, I'll read the definition. Mixing an acid or base with water results in decrease in the concentration of ions per unit volume. Such a process is called dilution. So we are using acids in the laboratory. So there are concentrated acid also. So we are in the lab, we are using dilute acid. So this acid or base we can dilute using water. So when we are diluting with water, what is happening actually that there is a decrease in the concentration of ions per volume. That means if you are taking concentrated hydrochloric acid, if you add water, what is happening? The concentration of H plus ions. In all acids, H plus ions are there. So the concentration of H plus ions decreasing per unit volume. In the concentrated acid, the number of ions will be more. But when you are diluting, when you are adding water into the concentrated solution, what is happening that the number of ions per unit volume is decreased. This is the same in the case of base also. In the base, OH minus ions are there, sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide. In concentrated solution, the number of OH minus ions are more. But when you add water into it, the number of OH minus ions per unit volume is decreased. That process is known as dilution. So that is what we have written. Mixing an acid or base with water results in the decrease in the concentration of ions. Ions means either it will be H plus ions in the case of acid or OH minus ions in the case of bases. So such a process is known as dilution. Then there is a particular style for dilution that we have to follow. That means acid must always be added slowly to water with constant stirring. In the diagram, you can see that in a conical flask, water is taken and concentrated acid is added to the water dropwise with constant stirring. And what will happen if you add water instead of this acid? See that I am going to read. If water is added to a concentrated acid, the heat generated may cause the mixture to splash out and cause burns. The glass container may also break due to excessive local heating. That means this dilution of an acid or base is an exothermic process. So when you add water to the acid, the heat generated will be very much and the container cannot withstand that temperature and it is a chance to splash out. The mixture is splashing out and cause burns. So always we have to follow that acid must be added slowly to the water. So when you are adding acid dropwise drop, only a little amount of acid is added to the water. Otherwise, in the reverse process, the heat generated will be so much. So, every time dilution is done, either acid or base is always added slowly to water with constant stirring. That is a diagram. It is very clear. Acid or base is added to water dropwise. So, that is a method of dilution. Otherwise, it will cause burns. Then now these are the questions for you. I'll read the question. First one, why does an aqueous solution of an acid conduct electricity? Aqueous solution means mixed with the water. So what is the reason? An acid with water, it is disassociating or ionizing into H plus ions. And we studied that H plus ions are the reason for the flow of electricity. So an aqueous solution of acid, that means when acid is mixed with the water, that only conduct electricity due to the presence of H plus ions. Then the next question, why does dry HCl gas not change the color of dry litmus paper? What is the reason? The dry litmus paper, we know that acid will change blue litmus paper to red. But HCl gas, dry HCl gas is not changing. What is the reason? The same, in the presence of water only, acid can ionize into H plus ions because these H plus ions are the reason for the acidic property. That means blue litmus turning to red due to the presence of H plus ions in the water, with water. So if it is dry, it cannot ionize. So in the absence of water, this is not happening.